Ramble.
Thanks to Honey and Best Fiends for sponsoring today's episode. Let's get into it, baby!
Hey, Ned. Do you want to introduce this one?
I'm pretty sure I introduced last week,
I
Miles.
know.
We should maybe let someone else have a turn, but okay. Welcome to the TryPod. I'm Ned, and with me is Keith Habersberger,
Well, good morning or afternoon.
as well as our producer, Miles.
Hey.
Today's a soft and sensual podcast because it's just me and Keith, so we're going to have a tete-a-tete, a one-on-one, a tango-wango.
Wow.
We're going to talk about, I don't know, relationship advice.
Marriage. We are the only married boys.
We're going to talk about our shared interests like Magic the Gathering. But we're just going to catch up. We're going to dish. You ever just dish with a good gal pal or guy pie?
Guy pie.
What do you talk about when you're having one-on-ones? You know, I love hanging out in a group, but when you're one-on-one, there's just a whole other depth of conversation, especially when your producer's listening in and chiming in along the way.
I'm trying to think of what Ned and I talk about when, just Ned and I are talking about stuff, and I think most of the time it's food.
Yeah, we talk a lot about food. Of this restaurant is good. This restaurant's good. I like this restaurant. Keith, I had a breakfast taco with your chicken sauce on the eggs this morning.
Oh.
I had a choice between
Yeah.
tapatio, another type of sauce, and chicken sauce. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this for my best friend, Keith.
The chicken sauce is good on breakfast. It's very
It
good
is.
on eggs and avocado toast and all that jazz. It's delicious. So,
Have you tried any new types of food in the city lately? I don't know if I can break out of this smooth talking voice. I'm just in it now.
I had an unbelievable breakfast sandwich in Palm Springs last weekend. Becky and I went on a little quick weekend getaway, and we went to this place. It's like a hotel, but it's called the Heyday. But they have a breakfast sandwich. Let me walk you through what's on this breakfast sandwich. It was massive.
Go off.
It is a huge sausage patty, a full hash brown, like a McDonald's style hash brown, but it was even bigger than that. It had the most beautiful fried egg. It had, I think it had grilled onions, and it had something. Man, it was bonkers. It was oh wow, Ariel on both sides of the frame. What do we have the pleasure?
Whoa.
If you're watching on YouTube, you get all sorts of secrets.
Yeah.
But it was tremendous. And then I also got a burger, and Becky got a mushroom-based burger, and we ate them in the car, and I ate 3 sandwiches.
3 Sammys. That's
It
big.
was great. And then we drove home. It was the end of the trip. It was such a great way to end a nice little respite.
You know, I also went on a little respite. Respite last week. I went to Mammoth Lakes,
Ooh.
California, up in the Sierra Nevada mountains, the Eastern Sierras. Did you know that in our backyard, not 5 hours away, there's these beautiful mountains with lakes and trees? I did some stand-up paddle boarding.
Whoa,
I went on a
whoa.
hike up a mountain, not just around a mountain.
Wait, you paddleboarded on a lake? Wasn't it the lake freezing?
Oh yeah, the lake was frosty. I definitely jumped off my board at one point. Why, hello, Wesley. Hello. Welcome to the podcast. I'm having some one-on-one time with Keith, though. Okay.
Sorry, son.
I'll see ya. Yeah, it was cold, but I like really cold water. I like it to be refreshing, You never want to jump into a lake and it's too warm. I like my baths warm, but my swimming freezing.
I'm the opposite. I like my pool to be very comfortable. Now, I don't want it to be hot. I don't want to walk in and be that's the same temperature as outside. But I want it to be I'm gonna ease myself
for a
on in
pool.
the
I don't
pool,
want it freezing, of course. I'd say I want my lakes freezing and I want my pools cool. Because when it's hot outside, it's you get the sunburn. You gotta rinse it off with a little cool water.
It is nice. It is refreshing when you're too hot. when you're too warm.
But I feel like with all this quarantine, just getting away for even just 2 days to a new location gives you like 2 months worth of mental health.
Yeah. It's definitely so important to have something to look forward to. That's like what I was struggling with, especially in the first parts of the pandemic. But like even just like, it's just a 2-day trip, but it's somewhere else, and we're not even going to do anything other than maybe we'll swim in a pool and sit. But we're in a different environment. It feels like an escape. You can put down your phone, not look at your phone the whole day, do something else, play video games, read a book. Just break out of the norm,
Right.
The norm's driving
you gotta
nuts.
actually marking your calendar for certain things to look forward to makes the whole month leading up to it. It gives it a little air of excitement. That's I think why I like fall so much, is because you're just kind of getting excited for the holidays. They're not there yet.
Yeah, it's all Christmas Eve, the whole kind of month.
Yeah, and football starting. Oh man, I mean, can we talk about sports and coronavirus for a second? I mean, how are they going to do it? I saw this.
They're doing baseball, kind of.
They're doing baseball, and like the entire Marlins team is infected.
Yeah.
And then they infected the Phillies, and now it's like it's not working. But I'm very hopeful that football will work, because they're testing every single day. They have these little tracking bracelets where it'll like map out if someone tests positive, all of the other people that they were close next to, so that they can then be quarantined.
Isn't that, and the NBA is doing the bubble thing. Ned, do you want to walk us through what the bubble is for people who might not be sports inclined?
Oh yeah, so if you're not familiar with the sporting universe, the NBA is doing a bubble where all of the players are staying at this one resort in Disney World in sunny Orlando, California, my home state, and
Florida.
One of my favorite cities. Everyone is like they have food that's delivered. There's a funny tweet of one of the players posted like his sort of sad room service, and was like, "No way, LeBron's eating this."
Yeah.
But yeah, they are completely shut off from the outside world. All, I don't know, they're like 500 players.
Do they have like a private chef at the resort, I guess, who's feeding them too? Like, because they can't get takeout, because that would hurt the bubble.
No, it's like everyone, the staff at the hotel, all in the bubble.
And there's stores,
there's a lot
too.
that goes into sporting events, the people that film it, people running the stadium, and I think they're playing to empty stadiums, but various football teams have like capacity requirements. Some are doing like 25%. The Rams are doing 15,000 people. What are some things you got that you're looking forward to coming up, Keith?
What am I looking forward to? Gosh, I don't know. Zach has been like floating this idea. He keeps sending me pictures of this Airbnb that's like very extravagant. Be like, we should just have the Tri-Fam go to this Airbnb, and it's like set on a golf course, and it has like this giant like pool, and it looks luxurious. And I keep hitting him up and be like, are we doing this? He's like, oh yeah, I gotta book it. I'm like, you gotta book it or else it's gonna be gone. That's something I could look forward to. I don't have anything to look forward to right now. All my look forward things happen like 2 weeks in advance. Becky and I are like, we gotta go do something. Let's go to you know what? Becky's parents have a timeshare that they can't use sometime this summer, that's down in Carlsbad.
Good caverns.
Caverns.
I've never been to Carlsbad, so we might have a little weekend retreat to Carlsbad sometime.
Now, is that going to get an issue with your drive through Arizona plan?
I thought Carlsbad was not in it. Is it Arizona?
Yeah, I think it's in New Mexico, but how are you going to get there?
What? Maybe it's not Carlsbad then. Maybe I feel like it was somewhere like 4 hours from here. Maybe
in California?
Let me look up what I'm talking about. But that's it. Little weekend trips are all that's left. Oh, and foods. I have noticed that a lot of my restaurants, because they have like limited service of what they're doing with their menu anyway, they're doing like different stuff. Like there's a place that used to be a fancy French cafe that's near like the 101 that's like got got like fancy chicken sandwiches now. I'm like, ooh, they never did that before, but now they're doing that. Becky just texted me because she heard me, and it's near San Diego.
That's our resident fact checker,
okay.
Becky from the other room.
Becky's
fact checker
great at
Becky,
this.
thank you.
Yeah, she's in the other room.
Then
Thank
what
you,
am I
Becky,
thinking
so
of?
much.
Carlsbad is a city in California. What am I? I'm thinking of. Oh, there's also a city in New Mexico.
What do you feel about we're trying to shoot these videos. What do you feel that we create a YouTuber bubble with kind of you guys and Laura DIY, Gabby Hanna, Jake Paul?
Yeah.
Everyone kind of gets
Yeah.
in there. We create content together.
Okay.
And sort of like some sort of a house.
Yeah.
Sort of a house with hype.
Yeah, like a hype
really
house.
hyped up house.
Yeah, really hyped up house.
Team Quarantine.
I mean, I am jealous.
basically, we're kind of
that.
in our own Try Guys bubble.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it would be way better if we were just living in a hotel at Disney World.
I've been thinking, should we just get a commune? Should we go like 5 hours away from here where things are cheap and buy 5 houses in a row and build a pool between all those 5 houses and just build a fence around those 5 houses and be like, this is where we live now. And we'll open a little convenience store. We'll be our own society.
Yeah, hey, that's a great. I feel like that's the goal for any. Like, I've always just wanted to live in a little commune with a bunch of bros.
We'll roast pigs. We'll grow carrots. It'll be great.
I feel like gardening, you do all this work and then it yields like one salad. Like, I've been getting into gardening recently. I've been getting crafty. I built a 3rd garden box with some leftover wood from my deck. Real dad on a Saturday afternoon project.
Very good.
But I planted a whole bunch of tomato plants, a little bit of strawberries, a little bit of lettuce, a little bit of artichokes. And the lettuce, it's like I harvest it and I take the entire plant and then it's just like one salad. The tomatoes, I guess there's a fair amount of tomatoes, but I feel like I'm just doing all this work and then the amount that I actually get to eat. Now, it's rewarding eating, don't get me wrong. Real, like, harvesting the fruits of your labor.
You should do a video where you only eat from your garden for a week and see if you can eat.
I would.
That's a good
I would
idea.
not do. There's not enough calories that I'm growing right now. I would last 3 days, harvest everything, then I would just be on to eating serrano peppers.
What if you bought a few chickens?
Now we're getting interesting. Now we're getting like, if our commune is really gonna have to run. I mean, that's what I always think about with moon bases. They have to be self-sustaining with like little biodomes and a whole bunch of plants that are producing oxygen.
Aren't we doing a moon base? Isn't that something that?
Is this like a Try Guys thing? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
The
Something
NASA.
I've got to look forward to.
Yeah.
Moon base.
Our moon base.
We'd like to formally announce we're doing a moon base.
It's going to be huge. I would love to go to space. I think that must be the coolest experience ever, to look at Earth from not Earth,
That'd be so freaky.
It must be like the coolest thing. I mean, I hear that astronauts have like a crippling like depression when they come back because they're like, what's it all mean? What's it matter? Well, who cares if the mail shows up late today? I'm just an ant on a ball in space and nothing matters anymore.
Whoa.
That's
That's
really
a
the thing to
real
go through.
tough concept to wrap your mind around.
Yeah.
I even feel that a little bit when you just like look at a sunset or a mountain,
right?
any landscape where you kind of get a sense of the bigger picture. It's very humbling. You feel like you're just so small.
If there was a mission that was like, you can go to Mars, Ned, you guys and your families, they'll send you to Mars, but you can't come back, but you'll be part of the first Mars colony. Would you go?
Whoa.
No, it sounds miserable.
I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, I think it would be pretty tough.
You guys think quarantine is bad? That's just quarantine.
Yeah, try being on Mars.
ever.
If you go outside, you will die.
Yeah.
There's no Chipotle. There's no, Red Robin. Yum. There's nothing.
No chain restaurants. Eat the menu.
No
rocks.
chain
Well,
yeah, what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I
They
supposed
send
to eat
you
the
out
menu? What Ned's grown?
They say you can go to Mars, but you have to open up a Chipotle franchise and
Yeah.
I'm in.
The first Chipotle
the
on
owner
Mars.
operators.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. How many people would have to live on the Mars colony for me to consider going?
And like, what's their deal? Like, are they cool? Are they cute? cute? Are they fine?
Huh?
Yeah, just populate Mars with a bunch of hot guys, hot girls having a good time.
Then it's a good time.
Like
right.
an MTV Spring Break Mars. You remember? Yeah, that's something like this current generation won't have. I mean, they have their TikTok. They have all the cool stuff. They can see people having a good time. They can see people at the Hype House, but they can never see a group of 18 to 20-somethings on some beach somewhere for MTV's Spring Break where they're in a pool, having concerts, having a great time, and like we all watch it from our homes being like, man, that looks like the greatest time ever.
Yeah. Watching those MTV little clips, it put an idea in all of our minds as this like idyllic spring break. Mm-hmm. And then did you ever have an experience where you're in college or something and you actually have that spring break and you're like, wait, this isn't quite what it was promised to be?
Okay, so I went to Florida for my freshman year. I went to Florida for my spring break and I hung out with my friend Ryan. He went to the University of Central Florida. And we went there and we're in Atlanta for a couple of days. And then we went to like, I don't know, one of the Panhandle beaches, which is like the Panhandle is much more dirty south than Orlando is. And I remember that we went and we had like as close to one of those as I could. Cause like we went to the beach, we made some friends with people. We went to like a house party with those people. Everybody got too drunk, and then we went home the next morning. Yeah. And that was like as close as I've gotten. And there was no rapper on the beach. There were no there weren't, nobody was playing the thong song. Mm-hmm. There weren't a bunch of thongs everywhere. That's what you're led to believe, that everyone only wears thongs. Nobody wears thongs to the beach. What up, everybody? Now, I know you're always using the internet to buy stuff. We all are. There's one way to make your shopping even better, and that is Honey. Honey is a plugin that basically searches the entire internet to find coupon codes for the thing that you're buying right now and applies the best one to your cart. Bada bing, bada boom. Suddenly you saved money. How about that? You guys know what it is. Honey's great. Honey supports over 30,000 stores online, and they have things like tech and gaming products to fashion brands, even food delivery. It really is everything that you buy online. Let me just break it down how it works. You're shopping on your favorite site, right? You got everything in your cart. And when you go to check out, the little Honey button drops down. It's like, hey, you want to apply some coupons? And then you do it. And then you wait a few seconds. It searches through the internet. Then bam, finds the best coupon, slams it into the cart. You've saved money. But actually, I had Honey on online order for pizza just the other week. Ordered some pizza. Bam, saved $3. How about that? Honey has found over 17 million members, over $2 billion in savings. And if you don't already have Honey, you're just missing out on free savings. It's free. It installs in a few seconds. And by getting it, you're doing yourself a solid and supporting this podcast right here. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/tryguys. That's joinhoney.com/tryguys.
I went to Brazil for the World Cup several years back, and that's someplace where everyone does wear thongs.
Oh.
It's commonly accepted. That's just a very normal thing to wear.
I mean, when we were in Miami, there were thongs.
That's true. The thong quotient.
That's
thong quotient is high.
It's good.
I don't know why thongs aren't more acceptable for men. I mean, like, I got a good booty. I'm willing to show it off.
Mm-hmm. How would it?
Okay, Ned eats everything from his garden while wearing a thong.
I mean, at the very least, it's a viral TikTok. Do you guys? I mean, that's a good point. Like, you're talking about spring break. Did you ever have a moment when you were young where you're like, I'm living the break. I'm living the OC. I'm doing that thing. Or maybe in college.
Oh yeah, I definitely did. I think probably about 2010, Ariel and I had just started dating. We rented a bright red Ford Mustang on a trip to California,
Whoa.
USA,
Nice.
where we didn't live. And our plan was to drive up the Pacific Coast Highway, this beautiful highway, curving around cliffs, just hugging the curves, just seeing the seagulls go squawk, squawk, squawk.
Yeah.
Crashing waves, sea lions going, and just so romantic. What? Yeah,
sea lions
really
are
getting
weird.
into the animal noises here.
Yeah.
We had a bright red Ford Mustang convertible, my dream car as a kid, and we didn't even pay for it. They were like, "Oh, it's just sitting here. Do you want a free upgrade?" And we're like, yes. Our very first day, I crest over a hill, just cruising 80 miles an hour, and I see a police car. Then it passes me, and I say, oh no, I think the speed limit is not 80 miles an hour on this road. And very slowly, the police car turns around, puts its lights on. I was like, oh no.
How would they know go in the opposite direction?
I should have contested it, but they would have made me show up to court
using
in
his
California.
gun while driving and then doing the subtractive math to find out how fast you were going. Not a chance.
Mm-hmm.
No chance.
Not a chance. Police officers do not have to go to college. Just saying.
Oh.
Just saying.
Shots
Look, there are
fired.
studies that correlate that, the more where police officers require college education, they have like way lower police brutality, way lower incidents. I think it would be a simple thing. I'm not saying that college solves everybody's problems, but I think we have some studies that prove maybe it's a better idea. Just saying. Just throwing it
I
out
think
there.
that's a great idea. I certainly did not appreciate paying a $350 ticket,
Yeah.
which to a 22-year-old and even
That's
to a
everything.
33-year-old is
Yeah.
That's
a little more
sizable.
money than you're
Yeah.
wanting to spend on your cool early 20s vacation. But we still
yeah.
had a great time.
Although speeding tickets are annoying, but you can kind of like, it's your fault. Parking tickets, like in Chicago, were the worst because sometimes they just got you. Like there's like a lot of Cubs parking in different neighborhoods where like on a Cubs game you can't park there after 5. But if you aren't inherently familiar with the Cubs schedule, you don't know that you can't park there. So you'll turn on some street and it'll say, there's one sign on one part of the street and it applies to the whole block and you won't see it and you'll park. And then within 15 minutes, you will have a ticket. And 5 minutes after that, they'll tow the car.
What?
Oh,
That's
wow.
Like they're harsh.
crazy.
And there was a time where
I mean, Cub games are crazy. There's a lot of
crazy.
people in the streets.
So
Yeah.
I lived on a Cub street, and we had these little paper inserts you'd put in your car, and that would be like, "Hey, I live here," or you have a guest, so you can get them by. So I had a friend. I parked his car, and I forgot to put the sheet in it, but I remembered like at 5:05, and I ran down with the sheet, but it was too late. He already got a ticket. However, at that point, I removed the ticket. I put the thing into his car. I was like, "Well, at least it's not getting towed." It got towed
What?
after the
What?
fact. And I had to go
no.
to court and contest and be like, by the time, and I took a picture. I did everything right. I took a picture and sent a text. So I had a timestamp that I had put the paper in, but I had to go to the court and be like, you guys came and you towed a car that was legal. Like I pay the ticket. That's fine. But I will not pay the impound fee and I will not pay that. And we won. Like I had to get it. Yeah. The police.
Wow, you're a hero. I've always wanted to do that.
I approached the bench with photos.
Your
and said,
Honor.
Here is my like item A is the photo of this. Item B is a timestamp of me sending it. It was a legal car. You guys were wrong to tow me. Fuck you.
Whoa. Did you say I rest my case?
No, but I did like the police officer who was there to contest me. I was like, I did say like, how dare you?
How dare
It's like
you?
they were wrong. And he showed up to contest me. I'm like, it's wrong. I've got photos. You're lying. He lied. And I was like, you're lying in court.
I bet what they do is he saw the first ticket and then they just call the tow truck and then
Yes.
if the car's still there 5 minutes later they just tow it.
Yeah, but it was a legal car, so the tow people
Didn't
were wrong to tow
expect
it.
Keith to slip in there with
Yeah.
the
Didn't
paper.
expect me to get there, but I was also like, I made a point to the court, like, it's not fair to ticket and tow because you're basically triple charging people because you get the tow fee and then the other fee and the ticket. I'm like, you guys just tow it or just ticket it because you know that you're basically forcing somebody to pay 3 fees when you do that.
Yeah, I definitely have paid the triple threat before.
Oh, no, I had to do it
Not
on my
fun.
own. I
Not
definitely got
fun.
towed in Hollywood in my first year and had to do the same thing. And it was...
And it's sequential bad news, right? First you see the ticket, and you're like, oh no, $150. Then you get to the towing facility and the impound fee. Oh no, $250. And then you pay the tow fee, and you're like, oh no,
yeah, it's just...
$300.
I left Becky's car in front of our apartment building and it got towed once and I had to go down and it was like such an ordeal. And also it was like so buried in their lot. So I had to wait for 30 minutes for them to shuffle the cars around to get our car out.
Me and my friends, when we were like 24, we came up with this, what we thought was a brilliant app idea. We were like, what if we created an app that had a real-time marketplace for parking spots? So anytime you're about to leave your spot, you list it, and then someone circling the area just finds it, pays you $2 for it, and then like comes in.
That would be huge.
You get the perfect spot every time. Don't have to spend dozens of minutes circling for parking.
Wasn't that your pitch during the Shark Tank, I believe?
What was that really?
I think so, yeah. Well, you had a funny name for it. It was like Park It.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was Park It, which was not a good name. But like Park It as in park your car.
Yeah.
Park It as in it's a market. Park It as in parquet.
What's that?
Actually,
what is that?
Like that now. Chicago does have some sort of, or they did at some point have had like an app that would show you on like open meter spots.
Well, speaking of spots that need taking, people often email us in to take up a spot in our inbox, asking questions to
Flawless transition.
asking questions to the number one guys on the web, my bosses, and somebody here wrote in and they've got a question. Keith, can I get a fake name for this person, please?
Ooh, Albatross Johnson.
Albatross Johnson wrote in, and Albatross Johnson said, "Hey, my name is Albatross Johnson. If you guys are reading this, before I get to my problem, I want to say I listen to the TryPod so much that I consistently have Miles' theme song stuck in my head." Oh my God. Wow, so nice. Anyway, to what I need advice on, I'm the second oldest in my family, 15. I have one older sister and two younger sisters. We are 3 years apart. We're all homeschooled, so we spend a lot of time together. My older sister just graduated high school and is moving out. She used to be the one... she used to be the main entertainer, come up with games and activities and more fun things to do. Now that she's going to leave, I'm going to be the oldest in the house. So now I have my younger sisters come to me for games and activities to do. I figured you guys might have some ideas on how to entertain them in a way that would be fun for me as well. BTW, you guys can always make me laugh even after a long day, and I know I'm not the only one. Keep doing what you guys do best. Thank you so much.
Well, I mean, Ned, you're probably coming up with a lot of games and activities for a toddler, which is not exactly the same as probably, preteens, but maybe there's some, cross activity that could work.
I mean, I think a really fun one is setting up an obstacle course and then timing yourself. We've set up Baby Ninja Warrior.
I love that.
And like Wes climbs over little pillows, like climbs up and down things, and then at the end he like flops onto pillows. That one's really fun.
I made a lot of games in high school that were basically just different versions of tennis with whatever I had. Specifically, a game called Tennis Shoe. And you took a shoe and you'd put your hand in it in any way that you wanted to hold the shoe, but you hit a lacrosse ball back and forth. And it was basically tennis, but you had to use the shoe. But what was fun about it is I would normally put the shoe, like, let me get a shoe. Your shoe would be like this. And a lot of people would play like this, right? You just stick your hand in like this and you play like that. But I did it instead. I put my hand I loosened these laces and threw my hand like this so that I was wearing it kind of like this, and I would backhand it and I could punch it. So it gave me like two different ways to hit the ball.
Wow.
And that changed the game. Once I started playing like that, everybody was playing like that.
Huge.
We also played a game called Sholf, which is like frisbee golf, but instead of a frisbee, you just kick your shoe as far as you can. But it was...
Dude, perfect. All sports shoe battle.
It was really fun. We played it at my college, actually, and we would play on the quad. We'd have like 5 people just kicking their shoe as hard as they could. And then, of course, you had to walk without one of your shoes to get to your shoe. But it was a good game. We played it all over the campus. Shelf was big.
In high school, we got very into a game that we created called Tryball, which was we took 3 tether balls,
Foreshadowing.
tied them together. Yeah, right, Tryball. This was for try the 3.
TRI.
3 tether balls, pushed them together, and then it was sort of like a soccer meets rugby type of game where you could it was a full contact game that we played at lunch in high school. Don't know how we got away with that, but
With tetherball?
with 3 tether balls, yeah.
Were they on their poles or were they off the poles?
No, they were off the poles, tied pretty close together, so it just kind of looks
so it was
like
a cluster ball.
a
thing.
cluster ball. So it was really, if you kicked it, it didn't really go that well.
Right.
It kind of was. It was really more of a scrum. So you would like you could try and pass it to people, or you would just kind of like drag it with your foot and try and like push people forward. And then a whole group of people would try and push people forward. The only rule was you weren't allowed to pick it up and throw it, except for certain circumstances. So really, that wasn't even a hard and fast rule. But there was a whole, like, we had membership cards. If you were part of the Tribal Club.
Oh, nice.
Somebody printed off membership cards. And yeah, I mean, isn't there anything better than, at lunchtime in high school, just getting really, really sweaty and then just staying in your own sweat and stink
staying in your clothes
the whole afternoon of classes?
Yeah. I would say we all have a little bit more free time nowadays, and one of the best ways to get rid of that free time is playing Best Fiends. You've heard us talk about it before. You know what it is. If you're not playing Best Fiends yet, I don't know why. It's hours of fun that you can enjoy anytime. It has challenging puzzles to solve. It's got cute little characters to collect, and there's new levels added every day. It's a great way to have a little social distant competition with your friends. I can call up Miles. I can be like, Miles, how far are you? And he's like, I'm only this far. I'm like, suck it, Miles. I like the gameplay. I just love little puzzle games on my phone. I've got a new favorite character now. There's this sort of sexy little yellow jacket. I don't know. The game makes me laugh a lot. I love playing it. I think you should play it too. Another great thing about Best Fiends is there's always monthly themed challenges in the game, which keeps Best Fiends feeling like a new game every time you play, baby. So let's do it. Best Fiends has thousands of levels already, with new levels, events, and characters added every month, and it's hours of fun right at your fingertips. You can even play offline. With over 100 million downloads and tons of other 5-star reviews, Best Fiends is a must-play. You can download it free on the Apple App Store or Google Play, and that's friends without the R, Best Fiends, Fiends. You get it, so get it. So here's a really fun activity, and now I'm not the inventor of this activity, but I think people should try it at one point in their life. It's fun. It involves crafts, and it involves playtime, and that is LARPing. Creating foam medieval weapons and fighting your friends with them.
I've always wanted to try
this. I did it in high school, and I was referred to as our group of friends foam smith, which is a blacksmith. I made a lot of weapons. I enjoyed the process of the crafting of it. Basically, you'd buy a PVC pipe, you cut it to the right size, then you'd have to put this sort of initial foam on it, and then you'd use sort of like, it's the foam you put under your sleeping bag if you're going camping. It's just like a blue foam pad that's like that thick. You'd cut it into strips, and you'd put the strips over and over and over until you have something that is like a thick-ass sword, and then you put duct tape or electrical tape or something to make a hilt for your sword. And some people, and then I made some that had like pommels and stuff, made daggers, made spears, which were like really long, and I'd put a pool noodle across the middle of it, and then you'd take a sawed in half Nerf football and put that as the tip.
Oh, wow.
So everything was always soft, and I made shields out of boogie boards with like bed foam on it. I had an arsenal of stuff, and then we would, on the weekends, like people would come over, and I had all these woods, right? So we could create these things. We could create like Take the Hill type battles, like other things, and we kept a sort of chart of who was currently the king of the land.
That's
and
awesome.
The properties. So on Casey, my neighbor's property, she had her country. So we would have like countries on the different properties, and you'd take them over, and we'd create different battles and different teams of battles. It was so much fun. And it was a way for us to get exercise without thinking about getting exercise. Because sword fighting, even with something that only weighs like 3 to 5 pounds, exhausting. It's not like a sword that's like 10 pounds or something, but waving something around that's 3 pounds after 15 minutes, that's tiring.
How long did you... have you ever done the LARPing video? The Dry Guys, have we ever done one? No.
We've talked about it, but we've never actually gone through with it. We'd love to do one where we go somewhere and like... Strangely enough, it's a thing that like in the deep south, a lot of people do, of all the places to LARP, but there's like camping retreats.
Just fireworks and foam swords.
Hundreds of people come together and they do big wars with foam weapons. And then at night they all like have campfires and they drink and have a good time. And then the next morning they do it again. Seems like the greatest event ever.
So good.
Oh, and there's wizards. There's different. There's like,
Really?
I think the one of the way you went was Amp Guard is the name of the rule set. And there were wizards and they had like little foam balls and they would have to like, they have to recite a certain chant and throw it, and if you got hit with the foam ball, that thing would happen. There were archers. We did have a bow and arrow where like you put big foam tips on a Nerf bow and arrow, basically, or you just buy a Nerf bow and arrow set. Those worked great.
Oh, that's
it was
so
fun.
I want to do that.
That sounds
yeah,
awesome.
damn. Would you play in character? Would you be like, my name is Keith the Great?
Oh yeah, I was Sir Keith.
Sir Keith.
Sir Keith the Great, of course, but Sir Keith for short. And my friend Hank, he was Gray Boggin because he wore a gray toboggan hat.
Gray Boggin.
Yeah, that's who he was. And then we all had like different little aliases, and we'd switch weapons so like everyone could get a chance to fight with different types of stuff. But Hank, who's Gray Boggin, typically fought with a spear. I typically had a shield and short sword. My friend Zach had like a broadsword, or I made him a huge like mace. We also made flails. Like it was.
Did people
It
have
was
shields?
very fun. Yeah. So I had a shield. I made shields. Most people, you have to make shields out of wood for it, but we were kids. We could do whatever we want. So I just made shields out of boogie boards, which are
nice.
so much lighter and so much more versatile to use, but still like put belt straps on both sides. So you
I've
strap
heard
it
that
on
the
your
rules
arm.
for that game, if someone pokes you in the leg, you have to then just hop.
Yeah.
Right? And if someone pokes you in the arm, you have to put it behind your back.
Yeah, and typically a death is getting hit in the torso or losing 2 limbs. But we would play like limbs, or as long as you still got the torso and one arm, you're alive.
Wow.
So we'd have times where everyone was like, you're on your knees with one, you're just trying to defend yourself as like a Monty Python-esque night.
How many people would you play with?
We'd play with anywhere from just 2 of us to 6 of us. And then we had there were friends from Cookeville, Tennessee who like introduced it to us, and they drove down every so often and they would come hang out with us. So the most we ever had was maybe 12 people, which was obviously chaos because there's so many people and you couldn't turn your back, It was fun.
We could probably do like, instead of starting a dodgeball team against like a different group of YouTubers, the Try Guys staff could fight like Good Mythical Morning. You could LARP against Good Mythical
They would
Morning.
probably be down.
They would be down.
GMM would be down.
Yeah.
That reminds me of in Boy Scouts doing like massive capture the flag games where it would be like, like half a mile long of the course. You're almost like just trying to sneak through and explore. And just like, 30 people all running around the woods. It's really chaos, really. It's like just let a whole bunch of teenage boys out into the woods.
We got 3 Southern boys here right now. We all know how that was like. You could just let 15 boys in the woods and be like, it'll probably be fine.
Oh yeah. We used to play a game that was just called like Juggernaut, and the goal was like, there's 2 teams. We're trying to get the ball over there. There's no rules other than that. You can tackle each other. You can hit each other. You just try to get the ball across the field.
Yeah.
That sounds just like introductory rugby. Just like rugby with one rule.
Yeah.
Just try and get the ball across.
Yeah.
My favorite was Tackle Loco, where basically whoever has the ball, everyone tries to tackle that person. So once the ball comes out, you try and like get it, and like you're like running like crazy, and while a crowd of people chase you.
Ultimate frisbee. Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
game.
I was
excellent.
Were
game.
you on a team? Were you on teams?
No, so my school didn't have enough people interested, but when I went to weirdly enough, every time I went to a music camp, so if it was like a month-long music camp or even just a weekend-long music camp, band kids love Ultimate Frisbee.
Yeah.
So there were always plenty of people doing pickup games, and we'd divide into teams and we'd play. I broke my hand playing Ultimate Frisbee on my birthday.
Oh my god!
I was doing the throw off at the beginning of the game, and that kid was running from behind me, and I followed through into his forehead, and it broke my hand.
Oh my God.
So someone on your own team.
It was my own team, yeah, and he was short, and I was tall, and when I followed through, it just perfectly hit him right square in the forehead.
Oh gosh.
And it broke.
Was
his
he
little
okay
finger.
too? Oh.
He was okay. He had a knot on his head, but the doctor was actually it's actually good that you hit him in the forehead. Anywhere else would have been really devastating for him, because it would have been an eye, a nose, teeth, or throat. Right. So all of those things, if it broke my hand, would have probably broken something of him as well.
I love Ultimate Frisbee so much. I'm watching highlights is so impressive because it's just they'll throw it and it seems like there's nobody there. It's like, what that was a terrible throw. Where is that? And then someone just breaks out of nowhere, puts their hands way up, fun. Just like lays out for it.
Yeah.
Grabs it, touchdown.
The best game. It was so fun, and it's a tall person sport for sure. Which like people always were like, Keith, you should play basketball. I'm like, I'm not good at basketball, but Ultimate Frisbee, now that's where my height would win, because I could be like, just throw it up in the air, I'll get it.
I've recently tried to get back into golf because I've noticed that my body is slowly breaking down. I mean, it's fine. I'm actually in the better shape than I ever have been, but I'm like, I'm just, if I do like big contact sports, I know as I get older and older, it's just going to be that much harder to stay healthy. But like golf, like my grandpa played it in his 70s. You can play it forever.
I definitely would go play a game of golf.
Really? You want to?
Yeah, I would. It would be great. I was interested in golf when I was like 12. Or maybe even younger, and I really wanted to do it, but in Tennessee there was only like one golf course, one driving range, so I went like once or twice with a friend, and then I just sort of fell out of it as I became more into music. But I get it. I love mini golf, right? And every golf game ends with mini golf. Every hole ends with mini golf, right? You just putt. So there would be at least 18 to 20 moments where and I'm saying that because I'm probably not going to get every putt in the first putt, I'm probably going to get a 2-stroke on some putts, right? But it seems so fun, and I'm just always wishing we could do that Dude Perfect All Sports battle on It looks so fun.
It looks so fun.
Even if
you guys haven't seen this,
do
it's a series that Dude Perfect does where they'll go on a golf course, say, and instead of using golf balls, they use all sports, anything, and archery, bow and arrow,
frisbee,
you might
football.
like have a bowling ball, hurling a basketball across, or
Javelin.
punting like they get very creative with the types of sports they do, and you still have to try and get it in the hole as quickly as possible, of course. That sounds like a really fun. I mean, it's fun to watch, but it would also be fun to do.
It would just be fun to do. Like, I don't need to play. I don't need it to be a video. I just want to go do it. It just looks like a great time. And you get, you're not. What I like about it is that it doesn't require you to have one skill base. Like, if you're really good at kicking a ball, well, at least you can do that sometimes. Whereas, like, if golf, you just have to be very, very good at golfing. But the all sorts battle is like, well, I can kind of throw a football okay. I can kick a soccer ball pretty well, and I assume I could shoot a bow and arrow far. Probably not accurate, but at least far.
Golf, I have these beautiful wooden clubs that were my grandfather's, and he's dead now. But I honor his memory by using his clubs. They're these ornate, almost antiques. They're just gorgeous. And I'm telling my friends about how much golf means to me because it's connected with my memories of my Nanu. And I walk up to hit the ball, just like really just feeling everything about that connection. And I immediately shank it into the woods. There's a lot of just like you hit a ball, it does not go where you want it to. Yeah. You hear a loud crash and you're like, fuck!
But I like it because you get to drive a little car. You get to sip on alcohol.
What other sports do you get to drive a tiny car in?
Right? Like only tiny car-based sports, like go-kart racing.
Yeah.
I like these sports where half of it is about leisurely hanging out and drinking. And I think that is like a good sport for adults, as a nice Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, like the softball game where every run counts for one, but every beer also counts for one, rendering the game nearly pointless. Although the other team drinks too much, you can rack up a lot of runs.
Yeah.
Well, we actually, Ned, I just emailed you. It looks like we got in an ad read for the middle of the podcast, which this doesn't usually happen, but I just emailed you the copy. So if you could just read that copy and, take your own spin on it, but you can read it as verbatim as possible.
All right. All right. Hey, I'm internet superstar and resident dad, Nedward Elizabeth Fulmer. I'm so insanely excited about this next announcement. Can I take that again, Miles?
Yeah, you can take it again. Just take as much time as you need and really
I love a good announcement.
Yeah,
like,
juice it up, and you can juice it up. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay. I am so insanely excited about this next announcement.
Yeah.
Guess what? Still listening? Wow. What sponsor is this?
Yeah, just keep reading probably.
Everything I've worked on up until this point was all working towards a single point. This one amazing moment where creativity, charm, sexiness, and good looks combine into a single point.
Yeah.
100%, 10 out of 10. Wow.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited so far.
Yeah, what can it be?
I don't know. I'm excited about it.
All right. Albert Einstein, Charlie D'Amelio, Jake Paul, Demi Lovato, Miles Bonsignore. Yeah. All of these people now have merch.
Yeah, baby.
We have.
Whoa! Look at that!
Oh, my God.
Wow! Cool.
That's
We
right.
have an amazing new piece of merch. The Miles Nation official t-shirt in 2 different styles.
Yeah.
Wow. So exciting. I love Miles so much.
Yeah.
He is my son and a dear friend.
Yeah.
So to him, I say, congratulations.
Wow, Ned, thank you so much. Everybody, we've been working since the beginning to get this to happen. People made their own merch, brought them to the tour shows, and wow, I couldn't be more excited. We got merch now. It's in the freaking store, tryguys.com. 2 different styles with Ned's blessing right there. I think he's telling you unfoundedly that, just cop the merch. It's exciting. It's very cool. It's my handwriting. It's a Triceratops, the headphones, the sunglasses.
And the Triceratops is gnarly.
Yeah,
looking.
it's wild looking.
He's got a beak.
Yeah, he's got a beak. This is the one style that's got big on white. And then we got like a Gucci kind of streetwear style where it's up on
That one's classy.
Yeah, this is a classy one.
I mean, if there's one word I have to describe it, it's really just 10 out of 10. Wow.
Yeah. I'm proud of that copy. I'm very proud of that.
I mean, it's a cool shirt. I love the logo. I love the look of the Triceratops. It reminds me that, so we have our Triceratops we have on all of the other merch, but we were very close to doing a different looking Triceratops for our entire brand. And this isn't like that necessarily, but it's a lot more similar. It was a circle Triceratops head logo that we were going with.
Yes.
So this Miles Nation merch is sort of derived from that, but made to look a little more like a real living Triceratops that would wear sunglasses and dope headphones.
It's got band T energy, I would say.
It does.
Yeah.
Miles, tell the Miles Nation, how did you, how did this design come about? How did this beautiful ad copy that I read kind of got pranked with come about?
Absolutely. A prank, a gif, whatever you want to call it. But when people have been requesting the merch for a while, and the boys were very proud to present this t-shirt. So Kaylin and I worked on the design. And I thought I wanted to be freaking radical, and I wanted to be a little headphone wearing sunglass guy like me, but also be Triceratops like in the freaking universe. And it's my handwriting, Miles Nation, right there. And I was very inspired by it. It's very sweet and kind that people were kind of making their own merch and stuff like that. And that's so cool and very exciting. And I really appreciate all those people who kind of did that. And now we got the official stuff right here.
Miles, is that the shirt that I was wearing yesterday that you took from me?
Yeah. Keith was wearing this on set. And I said, give me that, baby. I got to wear it on the podcast.
Can I have that? I don't have one.
Yeah, I'm going to give it back to you. Don't you worry. I'm going to pay full retail for it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Don't have to do that.
Yeah, well, I figure let's get the ball rolling.
Get the sales volume up.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
That's great, Miles. Thank you for this beautiful copy.
Of course.
And everyone listening, support the show. Show your support. Be part of the Miles Nation. Get the t-shirt at tryguys. Oh my God. Did you just
hit
whoa on us?
I hit the whoa on them.
Wow. My middle name's Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And you can get it right now at tryguys.com. There's actually only a limited inventory.
Hell yeah.
available.
Blow it out of the water, baby.
We weren't sure how many we're going to sell, and we wanted to kind of be a little cautious out the gate.
So, yeah, this is kind of a formal apology.
You know, prove me wrong and show that Miles is right for this beautiful idea of a t-shirt.
Hashtag prove him wrong. Get that trending.
No need for that. No need for that.
No.
Get it while you can get it. Demi Lovato has merch too.
Also has merch.
Hey, look, if we sell out of 1,000 shirts, Ned told me we're doing mugs, water bottles, beer koozies. We're going to do...
I did not.
What's that?
I did not say
Beach
that.
balls.
Oh, what's that? It's still a work in progress, but maybe we can get custom slides with my face on them. Throw the Triceratops away. Just a bad pic of my face.
Like on the sole of the shoe so no one even sees it.
Yeah, it's just for you to know.
Slide your feet right onto Miles's face.
Yeah, you can kick me in the head every single day.
Well, there's a lot of good stuff on tryguys.com. Make sure you're checking it out. Lots of new merch always drops, and some cute shirts there. But you know, we're winding down here. You know, we sure do miss our boys. Zach is on a nice little birthday retreat trip right now. Eugene, as you know, is in Korea. But is that a soundbite from Eugene?
Keith.
But you know, we're all spread out. We're all trying to take. I'm glad Zach is able to take this little birthday break. He's a stressed little boy. He's always a stressed boy. He's always worrying about something. So it's nice that he can take a few days and just enjoy some nature. But he has still been emailing at night because he's a stressed little boy. But yeah, you know, we all need guidance sometimes. We gave you some ideas of how to spend your time, whether it be LARPing or kicking your shoe across a field. But maybe that doesn't solve your problem. Maybe your problem needs some special advice from our resident expert advice man, Miles Bonsignore. This is advice that'll go for Miles with Miles Bonsignore.
It's advice that'll go for miles. Tune it to your radio station. It's advice that'll go for miles. Everyone get ready, Miles Nation. Miles Nation, go. It's advice that'll go for miles. Advice that'll go for miles.
What's up, Miles Nation? How's everyone doing tonight?
Woo! Love you, Miles.
Have you ever wanted to heat up your buns?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to get a little spicy in your eyes?
Oh, no.
No. Nope.
Hmm?
No.
Get on down to the marketplace, Ned.
Okay.
Get a little taste of worldwide delish, and it'll turn you into the king among queens that all the people in your village are gonna say, "Go DJ, go DJ, go."
Always dreamed of that moment.
Yeah, I really would love to be in a spontaneous, like everybody's dancing to choreography they somehow know, like in a lot of like 90s sitcoms.
Kimchi!
Oh.
I do love kimchi.
Get a bucket of kimchi from your local Korean market and put it on everything. Fuck it. Eggs, beef, pig, sandwich, water, tea, ice cream, latte.
No, a lot of the last ones really didn't work for me, but a pig sandwich is a very funny phrase.
I went to the Korean market, and boy, this advice is a two-farter because the Korean market is a blast and a half. They had fun panda snacks that I don't normally eat, and I did, and it was intimidating to be there.
It is a totally different grocery store. I mean, it just like there's like 50% of the brands at least are things you've never seen before if you've only gone to your normal typical grocer. But it's awesome. The one that I go to has a freaking food court. It has 5 food stalls in the grocery store, and they have like Korean barbecue. They have like a Korean soup place, and it's like, this is awesome. And they have like ice cream. So great. That left half of the store is just a food court, and then the right half of the store is stuff. And then the produce, my God, the produce is affordable, baby. It is cheaper produce. I love it.
Oh, yeah. And I found that, like, it was an adventure. There's so many things. I was like, what is this? Shrimp crackers? Get them. I want those. And the kimchi, I found that, like, kimchi is supposed to be really good for you, right? Yeah. So I got a big bucket of kimchi, and I've been reeking for the past week because Sarah and I dusted off a big tub in 4 days. It was
How many ounces you think? 32, 64?
It was probably more than 64. I think it was 64 more. It was like this size tub, and we dusted that puppy off. We made kimchi fried rice. We made kimchi kimchi noodles and stuff. It was it was a blast.
Making me hungry now.
Hell yeah,
kimchi's
brother.
good.
Yeah.
I love kimchi.
Yeah. Kimchi is a good time. But but essentially just go to the Japanese, Asian market or whatever, because you think you know groceries, but fucking throw your honey bunches of oat away and get a kimchi for breakfast.
I mean, you can get like Thai curries, just like little cans, just pop them, pop.
Ooh, you get frozen dumplings. I got frozen xiaolong bao, and I steamed them in my house, and they were delicious.
Go off.
Delicious.
Go off, Keith.
I will say the only thing that's hard about the freezer section is that you've never heard of any of the brands, right? So I know that if I'm going to buy a heated pocket food, I'm going to get Hot Pockets over Lean Pockets or something similar, right? But I don't know anything about the literally hundreds of different dumpling brands in the frozen section. I remember there was
try one out.
I tried several out, and I don't think I learned anything except they were all delicious.
Yeah.
Except that I guess it didn't matter. They were all good.
Right. And the seafood sometimes is like, I don't know what part of the ocean this is from, but I've never seen this before. This is new.
The seafood section is a full-on aquarium.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They have so many sea creatures, and then they have so many there's so much beef, there's so much stuff. It's awesome. It's so great.
Good advice, Miles.
It's good advice.
Hey, thanks, Ned.
Kimchi?
And I appreciate the shout out you gave for the shirt earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening to another episode of the TryPod. Be sure to subscribe, rate us 5 stars. It helps other people discover the show. And hey, join our fan community at patreon.com/tryguys. We got bonus episodes, bonus clips there. You got early access, all sorts of fun stuff.
Exclusive mugs.
Chat with us. What's that?
Exclusive mugs.
Exclusive mugs. That's true. You get an exclusive mug only available on patreon.com/tryguys.
Collect all 4.
Of course. The Miles Nation merch is officially out.
Yeah.
Support it. Become part of the nation. Show your support.
Hashtag prove him wrong. Dab on.
Okay. No need.
Okay.
Very reasonable estimate.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll be happy if we sell 10.
Prove me wrong. Get it before it sells out at tryguys.com. Keith, hit us with the official TryPod theme song.
It's a shirt you can wear outside. You can get it at tryguys.com. It's got a design. Under the design, it says Miles Nashan. Buy the t-shirt. Yeah. It's available at tryguys.com. The TryPod.
Until next time, stay beautiful.